Owen, tell me something.
Truman, did you know that the Brock Purdy fallacy is finally over?
Dahm, that's true. Welcome everybody back into another episode of Dahm. That's true. Of course, I'm your host of the most true Machine Steen. As always, I'm joined by the bomb.
Kaboom!
Owen Dahm. It's really nice. That effect becomes really nice with your slightly blown out microphone.
Of course.
A little bit virtual.
I blame potato.
You what?
I blame potato, 100%.
That's fair. But welcome everybody into another episode of Dahm. That's true. In case you haven't noticed, oh my god. In case you haven't noticed, I'm still bad with audio at times. I'm your host of the most true Machine Steen, as we are doing this virtually this week. People on YouTube will see that Owen is on the green screen, and people will see that the cat is instead in the seat where I would normally sit, as Owen's remains empty. So all three co-hosts of Dahm, that's true, here, me, Owen, and Snowball, the cat.
Of course, everyone knows.
I'm a little stuffed up. I'm a little stuffy boy. Tina's got the flu, so we just were like, hey, let's just do this virtually today. So Owen is at home. I am here. We are going to do this. I might sound slightly stuffy. I might hit a little sniffle every now and again. I'll try to minimize my sniffles into the mic and try to mute when I can, but I would like to just go ahead and apologize for those sniffles that I probably will have in the middle of talking. So, welcome everybody back in. We had something happen this week. So without further ado, let's do a little more ado. I do want to thank the patrons over at patreon.com/opendisaster. Shout out Skylar, Aaron, Joe, Mailbox Kansas City, opening soon in the Iron District, by the way, and Dylan. We appreciate all of you guys over there. Hey, we appreciate everybody who's been watching on YouTube, liking and subscribing. We appreciate everybody over on Spotify, following and rating. We appreciate everybody who's doing anything they can to get that sweet, sweet Dahm, that's true, nectar.
All right, Mitch Holtis. All right.
What were you saying?
I said, all right, Mitch Holtis. All right.
All right. So, without further ado, let's get into the episode. Owen, you know we got to talk about Chiefs versus Raiders. Boy, what a terrible, awful, no good, very bad game.
There was a game? That's crazy. I didn't know.
I was too busy celebrating the magic of Christmas. I didn't tune in.
I was too busy knowing that my fucking co-host was where he shouldn't be.
Chicago, Illinois.
Playing some stupid game with the fucking thing on your head while we're getting fucking boat raced.
That was after.
You didn't even watch. Was it?
That was the hit game. It's going to be taking over everywhere. It's called Duty Head, and it has stick things, and then you wear like in a water polo cap, and you throw plush poops, and it sticks on, and you get points.
That's great, dude. That's awesome.
I was in the middle of a conversation with a family member that I was like with one of Tina's family members when both those defensive touchdowns happened. Like I was trying to get out of not get out of the conversation, but I was like, man, I cannot keep up with what's going on with the game. And it was like I was talking.
They're trying to like fucking talk to you during the game.
Yeah, well, I just had it on my phone because we were like at her family's house.
They didn't have the game on?
No, her family doesn't give a shit about the Chiefs, man. They don't, listen, it's not a priority for them. I know, it's crazy. They don't even care about, none of her family even cares about the Bears, dude. Her brother-in-law, Tina's brother-in-law, cares about the Bears.
So what are you going to tell Tina that you're breaking up? That's crazy.
Game like he needs to. I wouldn't like when our teams are bad, I don't always watch every single game because I don't need
to. You know what? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So, when our teams are bad, I don't be watching that shit either.
No. So, I'm not watching 162 Royals games. But this year, upcoming year for the Royals, I might watch 30.
Dude, we might cook.
They could compete in a slightly bad division. So,
what do you mean slightly bad? It's the worst in baseball.
So I understand that. So I wasn't watching it, but it was like I was in this conversation, and I would check my phone, and I like checked my phone, and the Chiefs, the Raiders had scored. I was like, what the hell happened? So I go back, and I'm like, oh my God. I saw the fumble between Pacheco and Mahomes. I'm like, oh my God. And then I skip forward, and it's the play. I like skip back to live, and it's Mahomes like throwing the pick six. Like I see the guy running down the sideline with the pick six.
And
I'm
you're
like,
just
Jesus
like, what
Christ.
the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, what happened? So basically, the Chiefs, all the excitement in that game happened within the 5 minutes of that conversation that I was like, us falling apart because that was literally all the scoring that the Raiders pretty much did. They kicked 2 field goals other than that. But those 2 touchdowns was enough to beat the Chiefs, essentially. And I was in a conversation in the middle of that.
Wow.
As Owen would say,
well,
get off your phone, Truman. Pay attention to the game.
Yeah, it's obviously, Truman was in a different city with people that don't know ball. We lost. Shocking.
A whole other state with people who don't know ball.
Yeah, Truman's family, 100 great people. I know several of you. Sorry. The ball knowledge is not there. We lost. I'm blaming you guys. There's nothing you can do to change my opinion. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and defend. I don't think Tina's family would want me to defend their ball knowledge like they know ball. They don't. They know they don't know ball, and that's fine. It's just not a priority. They have they live life and do stuff like they don't.
Imagine what is that like?
I was talking to you about that. I was like, man, our lives are about to get so much more simpler after the season's over. I was like, why does our life get so complicated during football season? And I was like, oh, it's because we lose at least 1 day a week to watching football. And a lot of the times too, because you got to make room for the cats too. So you lose basically your whole weekend to watching sports instead of getting caught up and getting on top of your shit for the following week that I'm like, oh, I'm like hectic during football season.
See, that's why it's cool to not have any of those responsibilities.
The goal is to stay single forever so you can watch football.
That's right. Of course. It's so simple. That I said that. That's a quote.
If I don't get married and start a family, I won't have to give up my Chiefs football time. Easy.
Exactly. It's so simple. Chiefs Kingdom. Write this down. It's right there in front of us this whole time.
I'm doing my part.
I didn't do fucking shit.
I didn't do shit. All right. Listen, Aiden O'Connell didn't have any passing yards. Quarters, second through fourth. Didn't complete a single pass. The Raiders running back ran for more yards than Isaiah Pacheco has run for in any game this year. The Chiefs' offensive line looked maybe the worst it has all year.
Max Crosby ate our lunch and kicked our dog.
He was on Mahomes every snap. And for some inexplicable reason, Marquez Valdes-Scantling had the most wide receiver snaps out of everybody.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. What the hell is going on there?
And all that cardio that he ran resulted in 1 target, 0 receptions. He ran 60-plus snaps. He had 60-plus snaps. And he had 1 target that he couldn't haul in.
If you don't laugh, you'll cry. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. I mean, it's just... Listen, there wasn't even a game. I don't even know what these stats you're bringing up are about because there wasn't even a game this weekend. That's wild. Anyway, Chiefs 2 games clear of the division. Going to go to the playoffs.
Well, still got to win one. Still got to win 1 game.
No, if Denver loses, we secure it, and they're not starting Russ. So,
yeah, that was a very interesting story coming out of there was this with Russell Wilson being benched in Denver this week. Although I think now the Raiders might be even with them too, so we might need one. We might need a.
No, we have the points differential. We have the points differential and everything else. I was looking at
differential never factors in an NFL.
Well, team. But we have the tiebreakers over the Raiders.
No, we just don't.
we do though, Truman.
We're tied in the division.
Okay.
I guess. And then I think it's common opponents after that.
Yes, and we have those tiebreakers. They have not beaten anybody. So
Interesting. Also, just check the New York Islanders score. The New York Islanders are down 6-0 at the end of the second period.
those were all scored in the second period then. It was 0 It was 0-0 at the end of one.
Very interesting. Very
No
interesting.
way. 6-0?
Yes,
Holy fuck, it's 6-0. Yeah, 6 goals in the second period.
Oh, that's pretty
Dude, what the fuck? You know what? At least we have Tottenham. Oh, wait. Our starting center back got injured last game.
At least we have Tottenham. Tottenham isn't top of the table anymore. I'm not a fan.
Get out of here.
They're outside the top 4. I'm not a fan.
We are not outside the top 4.
You are outside the top 4. Check the table.
We're not outside the top 4.
Yeah, you are. Aston Villa scored, so already played, so they're in front of you.
Oh, whatever.
You've got a game in hand, but you're 3 points back. Technically.
Wait, did they? What? Oh, hold on. Live reaction. Truman's giving Owen information. Yeah, we are 5th. Oh, no, it's just because Man City played their game and won today. So, yeah.
And again, Aston Villa's up there, but they're really probably going to fall apart, so.
I don't know. Aston Villa's looking pretty good.
Just beat Arsenal. Just lost to Man United, though.
It's tough. Did you see the goals in that game?
On Boxing Day, lost to Man United. What?
Did you see the goals in that game?
No.
They essentially scored 3 deflections.
That sucks.
All right, what's our next fucking topic? Get me off this depressing shit. The Islanders gave up 6 goals in a period. What the fuck?
I don't know, man.
Ignore this.
Dude.
There's no flag here.
Speaking of depression, by the way. So we started this show in 2020. In 2020, famously, the Chiefs were coming off of winning the Super Bowl. They would go on that year to lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. 2021, they would go to another, they got the 2 seed that year. Ended up hosting the AFC Championship game. Lost to the Bengals.
The 1 seed that year, by the way, Truman? Do you know who the 1 seed was that year?
Tennessee Titans.
Mm-hmm.
The following year, have the Bengals, or go to the AFC Championship game, beat the Bengals this time in 2022, win the Super Bowl. Now we're in 2023. This is the 4th year of the podcast. And Owen, is this the worst you've ever felt about this team since Dahm That's True has started?
I mean, yeah, we haven't had 6 losses since this podcast has started.
That's fair. I mean,
of course it's the worst. But I'm a Chiefs fan, man. I've seen way worse than this.
Yeah, I was telling somebody that. We talked about my girlfriend's brother-in-law. He had never heard about Javon Belcher. He had never heard any of that story.
Well, yeah, because the Chiefs were like the Browns, man. Even the Browns are in a big city. This is Carolina team news.
Well, but it's like the Javon Belcher thing was so crazy and heinous that it's insane that wasn't covered.
Yeah.
Aaron Hernandez killed 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, I guess, got away with it for a long time and then got arrested eventually.
Right.
And people talk about Aaron Hernandez to this day,
That's true.
And he's a big deal. Javon Belcher, in the middle of the season, played the week before.
That's true.
Following week, murdered his girlfriend, shot himself in front of Romeo Cornell. And that's never talked about ever. And people don't know that happened. And
well, you know why.
In the middle of the football season.
I think you know why. It's not talked about.
Oh, I know why. But it's all CTE. It's all CTE stuff. But
right.
It's still insane that is never once mentioned ever.
I don't know. Once again, that Chiefs team was really bad, and then to couple that with the fact that the NFL really doesn't want people to talk about CTE,
yeah,
kind of like concussion, man. It's kind of like when concussions first started happening. It's we can't let people know about this, or we're gonna lose money, and it's an evil world out there.
Right, you're right. But yeah, this isn't this isn't the lowest I've felt about this team since then. Obviously, we had some middle seasons when we had Alex Smith where you just kind of knew that this team was going to lose in the first round.
Well, like that one divisional round that we watched at your house, when the Chiefs finally broke the playoff streak, and then we went and played the Patriots in the divisional. Like it was kind of like we had hope, but when Alex had that ball to go down and tie the game, I was like, I just don't know if he can do it. And of course he didn't, but like,
right.
I assume you just didn't have the confidence.
Jaguar fans felt last year going into Arrowhead.
Right.
Where you're like, listen.
Well, but the Jags were also never close in that game. Like they had I guess they had the ball at the very end of the game for the onside kick, but like they had to get the onside kick and then get a 2-point conversion.
Right. Yeah. Right. Like the Chiefs actually had a shot and then lost. I don't know. Right. It's weird because I feel so bad about this team. For me, this is rock bottom for the year, right? I don't think.
I also think you're being overly pessimistic.
Of course. That's the point of the show half the time.
For me, Truman, for me. I just think it's abundantly clear every time the Chiefs take the field. The defense is top 3, right? Yep. They're going to be in every game. There are 0 games. The Chiefs have lost 6 times, mind you. There are 0 games that we've played where I'm like, oh, damn, that team was just so much better than us. That has happened 0 times. We might have lost 6 games, and maybe it's blind optimism. But I truly think, and I tweet this well, I guess, what, is it week 15? So almost every other week at this point, that the Chiefs have once again beaten themselves.
Yeah, again, I think the Chiefs have beaten themselves 6 times. I don't think anybody's beaten them 6 yet. The closest was maybe that Broncos game in Denver.
All their drives started across the 50-yard line, so.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Everything that could go wrong went wrong last game. The pick against the Raiders. The pick sixes, drops, Tommy Townsend, uncharacteristic bad punt after a boomer and a penalty. Like,
what's kind of fun though, I think for the first time in a long time, there's not much optimism about this team, and you can kind of see. It's interesting to see who is remaining optimistic and who's not remaining optimistic. Listen, we're going to talk about this later on in the show. I still don't think you can count this team out from winning the Super Bowl. I know.
They're still like number 5 in odds.
I know. I mean, this is still like somebody pointed this out where the Chiefs this week, we'll talk more about this. Chiefs this week are I believe 7.5-point favorites against the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy, right? That feels crazy.
Yeah, a little.
I mean, a little crazy. It just, for how bad this team has been, the fact that they would be favored against a team that's positive record, and not just favored, but 7-point favorites. -7
because their defense is so good. Like, if the Chiefs don't commit a calamity of errors, they just don't lose games.
Well, and it's also it's kind of the reassuring thing that as the media, it is their job to freak out and be polarizing, get clicks, turn mountains into molehills into mountains, do all this stuff week to week. Yep. Then Vegas comes around. And Vegas don't listen to none of your stories. They don't care what you got to say. They shape the stories,
Dude, those handicappers are so good at their job, man.
Right.
Do you think Vegas handicappers like throw a big like party with champagne, popping bottles and everything when like an over misses by a point? Like,
oh yeah. Well, it's like there's a lot of games like that where that backdoor cover comes in. I like ESPN puts a pretty good thing out like every year or like every week where it's like this game happening this way was big for Vegas, and this game happening this way was big for the public and stuff like that. And there's a lot of those where it's like, damn, they got you with that +3. That backdoor cover killed all of you, killed so many parlays, and crushed all you parlay bettors.
Yeah, like those last-second meaningless field goals that winning teams kick to hit the over, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Or when a good team just falls apart and they were heavily favored, and a lot of people had them in their parlays because why not? Why wouldn't I add the Dallas Cowboys minus 1,200 against the Bills? Why wouldn't I just put that in my parlay? And then they lose, and then you're like, well, shit. And you're like, how? I couldn't have expected that. And Vegas is just like, yes.
You just get
yes.
You gonna be scared when the Bills make the playoffs, Truman?
Am I gonna be scared when the Bills make the playoffs?
Yeah.
No. We just saw it again, right? We talked about this all the time. I tweeted this out. The Bills did the thing that the Bills always do. The Bills play a great game, and then they go back and they show you who they are. Stephon Diggs looked like ass. Gabe Davis went kind of crazy for no reason because it's the fantasy playoffs. But they should have lost to a Chargers team because they played sloppy. And they got to pull it out against a bad Chargers team that doesn't have a head coach. But it was within one score. No, I'm not that scared of the Bills, man. I don't.
What?
I don't know.
Yeah, I just like personally as a Chiefs fan, I'm loving the fact that the Chiefs get to play. We're gonna ruin your season team now. Like, yeah. I really want the Chiefs to make the AFC Championship game so we can do like the Thanos snap, like I'm inevitable. Like when we like ruin two teams' hopes from the 3 or 4 seed, that would be so funny.
Right. I mean, the Bills will probably have to play all 3 of their games on the road, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they still have a possibility, I think, to win their division. I mean, it's probably going to come down to next week.
Yeah, I'll look that up. I'll look that up while you keep going.
So, the Bills, I think we could all agree, have been an infinitely better team than the Chiefs the last 4 weeks. Hell, the last half of this season. Since the Bills were like 5-5 and everybody's like, holy shit, the Bills might miss the playoffs. Since that moment, that Bills team has looked leaps and bounds better than the Chiefs have at any moment. That Bills team is still plus 1,200 odds to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I think once again the Vegas is just like, well, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, that's the steady hand of Vegas that we talk about. Listen, Vegas is here to say, don't freak out. This team is still probably pretty good. I'm not going to give you great odds because Stephen A. Smith thinks they're going to lose in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, Vegas is saying that the Chiefs are, 80% likely to make the AFC Championship game. Like,
I don't think they're that. Let's see, conference winner. In the AFC, the Chiefs are the third team. They're the third team out. They're plus 350.
Yeah, so to make the AFC Championship game?
No, to win the AFC Championship game.
Right, so to make the AFC Championship game, they got pretty good odds.
Ish. I mean, the Ravens and the Dolphins both have better odds, but the Dolphins are only plus 330. And the Ravens are plus 200 to win the AFC. The Ravens have looked like a good team. They look like a great team against that San Francisco team, but Brock Purdy also threw 4 interceptions, a bunch off of tips, a little fluky, and it still came down to two scores.
Oh man! Bring that energy, non-Chiefs fans. Where's the Purdy's washed up talk? I want to see it. Most of Mahomes' interceptions this year are not bad throws. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Oh, okay. What's next, Truman?
Well, I do feel bad about this team. This is the worst I've felt about this team, and it's not, I don't know if it's not really a lack of talent issue. There is obviously a lack of talent at wide receiver, but it's not lacking enough where they can't win the Super Bowl still. It's still a discipline issue.
If they just get players back from injury and don't give away 14 points in 7 seconds, they win that game by 10. Like, it's, I don't know, man. It's football is such a funny game, and that game is the epitome of Vegas, like, clapping their hands, because now the Chiefs over 12.5 can't hit.
Right.
And so, but their season prediction of over 11.5 also doesn't hit in the most unlikely of ways, with a loss to the Broncos and the Raiders. Like, that's crazy, especially these two teams. Vegas, man, they're good. They're good.
Yeah, they know. The question, speaking of how life can be funny, I have an odd hypothetical for you. This silly, goofy little hypothetical. So, the Chiefs, will probably be going to the playoffs. A team that is likely to probably fire their head coach, and along with it, their offensive coordinator, the Washington Commanders. Reports are they're probably going to clean house. Means Eric Bienemy is going to be fired probably at the end of the season.
Probably.
The question I raised to you, Owen. Would you bring him back as an advisor for the postseason run?
I know you would, for sure. I mean, why not? I mean, if you think he'll help the guys and get them galvanized and help eliminate mistakes, why not bring him back? I mean, it's a guy that the entire coaching room has worked with before.
Right. I mean, it might upset Matt Nagy, but I'm not sure we're in a place where we're trying to preserve Matt Nagy's feelings.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, once again, if Brett Veach thinks he's got an angle, then do it. I mean, once again, it's not like it's going to help. It's not like it's going to harm Pacheco or McKinnon or Clyde. Having a tough and rumble running back coach as an advisor, even if it's in a limited capacity, I don't hate the idea. The only issue is that I don't think Brett Veach would go for it due to money. But hey, if it helps us win, even if it helps us win by 0.1%, I think that's worth it.
Yeah. Another question I have for you, kind of offshoots. This isn't an official question. You still in on Matt Nagy?
You gotta stop making me talk about somebody that I know personally. How
many words have you said to Matt Nagy personally?
Probably like 7.
Okay. All right. Listen, you're not attacking his character. You're attacking his performance as the offensive coordinator. To a man, have you spoken to him since he's been back in Kansas City?
Yeah.
What'd you say to him?
Hey, thanks for having us over. Cool to have you back. How are your kids doing?
Okay. Great. Now, from an objective standpoint,
I don't think it's that bad. I think if you honestly think that all of the disciplinary issues are because of the offensive coordinator in a Kansas City Chiefs team, I don't know what to tell you. We spent all last season saying that, Eric Bienemy doesn't call the plays. He needs to go somewhere else to prove it. And then Matt Nagy gets here, and we go, Andy's not calling these plays. It's all the offensive coordinator.
Well, Nagy was calling the plays before he left. And then he left, and then he came back, and he got it re-elevated, and you're like, well, he's probably calling the plays.
I mean, was he really calling the plays? Are we sure?
I think so. Because I'll tell you what, this fucking offense looks a lot like the Bears' offense, man.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that. The Bears' offense.
You don't want to face that. You don't want to face the fact that
Chiefs,
Patrick Mahomes
the Bears' offense is dropping less passes. The Bears' offense is dropping less passes than the Chiefs. If all those deep balls are caught, the air yards per catch is higher. But
he only attempted like 4 passes over 5 yards, Owen.
His deep target's fucking MVS. What do you want him to do?
I want him not to do that.
All right, listen. I'll tell Mahomes to send Justin Watson deeper. Okay. I'll tell him that. And I'll tell MVS to get more separation so that we can throw him the ball. But until that happens,
Maybe
We're going to be shorter yardage plays.
I'm not telling you to do this. I'm telling the offensive coordinator, the man that can tell them to do that, is not telling them to do that.
All right, listen.
He's not drawing up the right route
combinations. All right, I'm in for it. I'm in for it. If Matt Nagy doesn't know how to tell wide receivers to catch the ball, you got it.
Okay, dude. All right, let's not.
Let's ignore the fact.
Let's ignore the fact that 15 of the passes were like bubble screens last week, dude. Let's just ignore that.
No, I understand that, but at the same time, like, I blame Brett Veach more on this one. Like, this wide receiver room is awful.
The play calling?
I think this wide receiver room is a bottom 5 in the league.
Yes.
We just sat down 2 guys that were supposed to be helping us for the future, and we're cutting them out of the offense because they're bad. That's on the GM. And then, the Chiefs are also getting a bit unlucky with injuries to McKinnon, who's a big part of the passing game and blocking game. He's really good at chipping pass rushers. But like, I understand there's definitely criticism. I think there's criticism on the whole offense. I think the offensive line needs to take some blame. I think Patrick Mahomes needs to take some blame. I mean, that second interception, that interception that he threw when he had just acres of space in front of him for the first down. I think that the offense being off kilter, once again, a little bit of blame on the offensive coordinator. I think that the whole offense is just, they're not trusting each other at all. I think if Patrick Mahomes trusts his offense, he doesn't scramble out of the pocket early like we saw him do in the 2020 Super Bowl. I think he can stay in there because he knows his guys will catch it. And right now, nobody trusts anybody at all.
No.
And I think that's, maybe it's consistency in play calling, but Travis Kelce having an off week really doesn't help anybody. That him dropping passes, but I know that I think that's one thing that's also kind of unfair is teams have realized that all they need to do to put the Chiefs in a bad spot is just double team Kelce.
Right.
Because then you've got Rashee Rice, Justin Watson, MVS, and sometimes Kadarius Toney, and sometimes Justin Watson to worry about. That's about it. So I don't know. Just spice it up. I think the Chiefs literally just need like 1 or 2 impact catches from MVS, and the whole trajectory of the season will change.
I don't think there's any way where you look at this offense and what they've done to Mahomes, MVP, Super Bowl MVP last year, lost Juju Smith-Schuster, replaced with Rashee Rice, who is going to put up virtually the same numbers.
Yep.
Albeit in a couple more games.
Yep.
And you have this version of Mahomes versus the Super Bowl MVP Mahomes. I don't think you can look at that and go, you know what? The offense is definitely being led in the right direction. I understand that we're going to talk about the receiver room. People didn't develop like we thought they would.
Or at all.
People not developing is also a testament to coaching, isn't it?
Yeah, but once again, an offensive coordinator, I don't know if you can blame the offensive coordinator for development of wide receivers. I blame the KU coach. That's our wide receiver coach. Holy fuck. Why the hell do we have a KU guy? Like, that's an insane hire.
Never even.
Insane.
I believe people are calling nepotism on that one because he's got a dad who's in an NFL organization, not the Chiefs, but, everybody's friends with everybody.
I don't know, man. That's crazy to me.
He went from being historically a high school, terrible, wide receiver coach to being an offensive analysis for the Chiefs. And then he's been around for a couple of years and is now the wide receiver coach.
Yeah. Fuck, man. I don't know. I'm trying to look up a stat right now. How do I use Pro Football Reference to compare a player to another player?
I normally just open 2 tabs and use my eyes, typically.
Okay. Fair enough. That's what I'll do. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think that if anyone really needs to cook this off season, it's Veach. It's firings of coaches, cutting of players, and the draft next year is huge. Huge. But
It's a make or break draft. You will have to redo the wide receiver room.
Oh, absolutely.
Redoing the wide receiver room is going to cost you a player or two on the defense, so you're going to have to redo a bit of the defense. And it's probably going to cost you a player on the O-line. You're going to have to redo something with the O-line.
Yeah, probably. Do you think that the money for that comes from a Chris Jones departure, maybe?
I think there's no way you bring Chris Jones back. Chris Jones looked better this game. He heard all of our criticisms. He looked a lot better. He was
our criticisms.
He was getting home a little bit more, but I still think there's no way you bring Chris Jones back for that amount of money when you have to worry about paying Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Nick Bolton, L'Jarius Sneed, and others, essentially.
Oh, by the way, statistically, MVS is on pace to do literally half of his production last year. I think that is a large reason why the Chiefs are suffering. He can't do anything.
Is that a symptom is that a symptom of the problem, or is that just a result of the problem?
I think a little bit of both. I think once again Mahomes just doesn't trust MVS. I think, and there was that play on the scramble for the pick where MVS was kind of jogging at the end of the play. That's crazy. It might have been that he stopped running because the ball was already in the air, not going to him. But it's just a bad look for him, man.
It's about time to hear of like a players only meeting for like.
Well, yeah, Kelsey on New Heights talked about staying after practice.
Yeah, or
and getting
like
extra
stay
reps
after for like 2 hours and just catch balls from Mahomes or something. And
right. I don't know. Once again, I'm not a coach. I haven't played at that level, but something's got to change if the Chiefs want to be serious, which I think they can.
Something's got to give. It's either the Chiefs' effort and their offensive production, or the Chiefs winning. That's one thing has to give there.
I think right now I know there's 2 players on this Chiefs team that are busting their ass. That's visible for us all. Patrick Mahomes and Richie James. And that is all the fire I see from the Chiefs team.
What? Stop. Rashee Rice also. Stop.
Well, him too.
Fucking Richie James. How dare you? I know.
That's my goat right there. That's my goat right there. Don't you try to fucking
sneak that past. What? Richie James. Shut up.
Richie James. You knew that text was coming. You knew that text was coming.
He's looked better.
He put Sky Moore in the fucking dirt. Bum. Fucking bum.
Just wait till McCole Hardman's back. Wait till what this offense looks like with McCole Hardman back.
Yeah, and 1 more drop per game.
Yeah. I don't.
just hey, give me a time machine. Give me Chris Conley, okay? That's the glue that this Chiefs fucking team needs.
They need a glue guy for sure. Listen, no matter what, I can't support an offensive coordinator who lets MVS be the leading snaps.
Yeah, that's wild.
in the wide receiving core to do all that cardio to get 1 target and not even catch it. I can't support that.
Wild.
I can't sit here and go, you know what? Matt Nagy is the future. That's just what I wanted to say. Bienemy, I think, fuck it, bring in a hard ass. This team can't suffer from having a hard ass in here.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was definitely some players on the Chiefs that didn't like Bienemy. I think Juju probably didn't like Bienemy, and that's part of the reason why he didn't re-sign. But I mean, when you hear like people like Patrick, people like Travis talk about him, it's only positives. You hear the running back room talk about him, only positives. So right. I think maybe the Chiefs have like a small culture issue. I think right now the Chiefs have a huge culture issue, actually.
Yes.
And there's definitely some players that they need out of there. There's some bad blood.
Absolutely.
I can't believe I'm saying that CEH is a pillar of the good part of the culture. That's crazy, but it's true.
He's given his all.
He's busting his fucking ass.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out CEH. People
yeah, man.
Listen, if you're still banging the No More Clyde drum, I don't know what to tell you. Jerick McKinnon's out, and Clyde has looked good in his limited time which is crazy
Yeah,
to say.
I've slammed CEH a bunch, but he's just fucking put his head down, grinded. It's clear he knows the playbook. His chipping is good. He gets out in the flat when he needs to, and he's been making at least one guy miss, which is all you can ask for out of a catch out of the backfield from a running back. I want you to either get hit and then get 2 more yards, or make somebody miss.
Yep.
On that first challenge, and he's been doing that. So
yeah, watching people make people miss is really one person miss. That's the thing about Rashee Rice that you see. He makes one person miss. It's the thing you see about Richie James. He makes one person miss. It's the thing you see about Clyde. Right now, he makes one person miss. And that's the kind of effort you just need. If everybody could catch a ball and make one person miss, this team would be a contender again.
Yeah, even though Kelsey, we were saying that Kelsey's been kind of slumping a little bit. He's still 32 yards off another 1,000-yard season.
Right.
And
he's going to go for
he always makes one person miss.
I had somebody who said, like, Tina's brother-in-law was like, oh, well, Travis might retire this offseason. I was like, no, he's not. He was like, I don't know. Do you listen to the podcast? I was like, yeah, man, a little bit. I was like, I don't need to listen to his podcast to know that he's not going to retire in the next year. He's not close. He's not close to retiring. I think Travis is going to have to get, banged up and hurt and not have a 1,000-yard season, and then get banged up and get hurt.
At the minimum,
considering retirement, I think he'll have to have 2 years of that.
Yeah. At the minimum, Travis Kelce is going to go out like Greg Olsen.
Right.
Minimum. Greg Olsen had like 3 or 4 seasons where he was like a 300, 400-yard tight end.
I mean, even Tony Gonzalez, like, his last 8 seasons, he just had like 500, 600 yards. That's fine.
Craig Olsen was in the league for 13 years, man. That's crazy.
I'm willing to pay Travis Kelce $5 million a year for the rest of his career to go out there and do 500 yards until he's done.
Yeah, so after Truman, after that 2016 year in Carolina where he put up 1,000 yards, 2017 in Carolina, 191 yards, 2018 in Carolina, 291, 2019, 600 yards, 2020, 240 yards. Like, that's what's going to happen to have to happen to Travis.
Can you give me all of Tony Gonzalez's stats when he got to Atlanta?
Yeah.
Can you pull that up really quick?
Yeah, I got you.
I'm on
Pro.
Yeah. I know you're on it, so that's why I asked.
Yeah. Atlanta. 867, 656, 875, 930, 859. That's fucking crazy.
Never had a 1,000-yard season in Atlanta. And
nope.
Which pisses me off even more that now that I think about that Tony Gonzalez is like, I'm more of a Falcon than I am a Chief. Shut the fuck up, dude.
He said that on okay. I want people to get taken out. That was a Falcons media. He's not gonna say, "Oh, my heart stays in Kansas City." It was like his 3rd season in Atlanta. Like, come on, guys. Like, I understand that it sucks that he went, and we're pissed because of the what if he stayed with some of those Chiefs teams. Like, would we have been worse or would we have been better? But let's not act like that was some huge slight to the Chiefs. Like, yeah, I mean, he was talking to Falcons media.
He got a Super Bowl opportunity in Atlanta. I get it. But at the same time, if Travis Kelce wants to do the Tony Gonzalez in Atlanta, he can do that for as many years as he wants. He's earned all the good faith, all the goodwill.
I don't think Travis Kelce
is $10 million or $8 million, whatever he wants, to just go out there and catch 700 yards. And I don't think he's close to being there yet.
I don't think he's going to live in another town. I think there's like 2 teams. Actually, one, two. I think there's 2 teams.
There's 2 teams, and probably after this year, there's probably only 1 team that he'd go play for.
Yeah. Well, no. Besides the Chiefs, there's 2 teams that he would play for, and that would be the Jets or the Giants. If the Taylor Swift thing gets really serious, that's it. He'd go move to New York to be closer to Taylor. That's all I see.
No. The travel for people like that is like nothing. There's 2 teams he would play for. And Taylor Swift, newsflash, Taylor Swift ain't in that New York apartment very much. I'll say that.
That's also true.
2 teams Travis Kelce would play for. 1, the Philadelphia Eagles until Jason Kelce retires, which will be in the next 2
but
years.
come on, he's not gonna do that.
So he'll never go play for the Eagles. 2, the only other team I think he'd ever play for, the Cleveland Browns.
Oh yeah, maybe Cleveland Browns, but
maybe that'll be the weird when everybody always posts the washed up players in a different jersey,
like Jordan on the Wizards.
Yeah, Jordan on the Wizards, Jamal Charles on the Broncos, Derek
And
Johnson in a Raiders jersey.
Didn't Jamal Charles also play for the Jags?
Maybe. Yeah, that might be right. But, it's just like when people post all those, it'll be Travis Kelce in a Browns jersey where you're like, whoa, weird.
Yeah, Jamal Charles did play for the Jags.
Yeah.
He didn't play for the Raiders, though. That was silly of me.
No. So
he had 6 carries for 7 yards on the Jags.
My goat. All right. And let's talk Chiefs versus Bengals preview. I tried to get our buddies on. Chase wants to save his episode. He wants to come on for the end of the year hot take special where we grade all the hot takes. He wants to come on for that.
That's fine. He has so many takes. He can earn the choice to do that.
Absolutely. Logan was out of town. He had to go to his mother-in-law's or his mother's. Either way, out of town. He was not available. So, sadly, we weren't able to get either of our Bengals friends on. But still, we're here.
Sorry.
We're doing this. Chiefs versus Bengals preview. This is not the game that we thought we were buying tickets for when we bought tickets.
Nope. Nope. Still going to be just as cold, though. Yay!
If there's any team I think that would knock the Chiefs out of a funk, it's like
getting
like
revenge on the Bengals.
It's like one of those things where it just brings out the best in you. If anybody's going to bring out the best of this Chiefs team, it's going to be this Bengals team.
Oh, L'Jarius Sneed is hype. L'Jarius Sneed has been like getting his pen and paper, like, things to say about Jamar Chase. His mother, yeah. Like, L'Jarius Sneed is getting his trash talk ready.
Well, like, there's got to be, like, please. I know they're not doing well, so I imagine they're not talking as much. But what this team needs right now
is someone to say some shit.
Is fucking Jamar Chase to be in the locker room saying, yeah, L'Jarius Sneed locked up all those other guys, but he never locked up me before. I'm going for 160. Twitter. Doesn't matter. And that's what I need this week. I need that like I need crack. I need
Chiefs
that
Twitter
in my
campaign.
veins.
Chiefs Twitter campaign. Rile up Jamar Chase.
Right. We need to be tweeting. Us, as a community, we need to be tweeting at T. Higgins. T. Higgins is definitely on Twitter a lot, and Jamar Chase, and just tweeting constantly at them about how L'Jarius Sneed is about to lock these boys down. We need to, again, I'm doing my part. We need to be out there talking about this.
We don't normally call for harassing athletes, but keep it civil.
Yes. Do not make it personal. Just say L'Jarius Sneed is going to lock you down. Just say that.
The 15-year-olds on X aren't going to handle that,
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. But we just need to get that juice pumping.
You're right, dude. The Chiefs just need to get the mojo back.
We need the Bengals in Burrowhead to wake up the Chiefs.
What if we fucking lose? What if we lose?
That's the thing.
I think the Chiefs defense is so good, though.
This team has had mental lapses against bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's been the better teams, they've quite simply played better. They played better against the Eagles. They played better against the Bills.
Dolphins beat the Dolphins.
Against the Dolphins. They have looked elite against elite teams at times. And so it interests me that if there's a team that they do not want to lose to, listen, we talk a lot about the rivalry games, but the quote always is that it ain't a rivalry until the other team wins one, right?
Yep.
So the Raiders game, I think to a lot of the Chiefs players, is not a rivalry. The Broncos were never a rivalry. The Chargers aren't really a rivalry to them because they have never been close. Bengals, that's a real rivalry to these guys. And I think the Bills even to that extent.
Yeah, because the Bills have been beating that ass in the regular season every season.
The Bills don't get on our nerves because we've owned them in the playoffs. And they know that. It irks the Bills. The Bills are always turning it on, but we don't care. Not in the regular season. But the Bengals beat us in the playoffs, beat us in the regular season, said that shit about Burrowhead, said that shit about all that shit. I absolutely think if there's any team that's going to knock this Chiefs team out of a funk, it's going to be the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
If this Chiefs team does not show up to play against Cincinnati Bengals, then they ain't going to show up. But this is legit just like you need to see it's like oh my god, Major League. It's like the guy from the White Sox. He just talks all that shit to Charlie Sheen. And then Charlie Sheen, like at the beginning, is like, oh, he's getting all cocky, and he's like, you hit this one, you can name it. Because he's invented all these different pitches, and he crushes it out of the park, and he's like, how about the softball or whatever? I can't remember what he says. But, and then at the end of Major League 2, he just strikes him out, fucking no stuff, just 4 fastballs or whatever, because that's what that guy did. It just brings out the best. He brings out the wild thing in Charlie Sheen. The Cincinnati Bengals are the team that can bring out the wild thing in the Chiefs. They're the things like if Mahomes is going to throw for 350 or 400 yards against anybody and 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, it's going to be against the Bengals. If Travis Kelce is going to go for 120, it's going to be against the Bengals. If
MVS is going to catch MVS going to catch a home run ball.
Yes, a guy who cooked the Bengals last year. If this is the game, if there's a game that it could possibly save the Chiefs season, it could be this one right now. And I think we all need to strap in. Not only that, but me and you are also going to be at Arrowhead. That's like a hard reset. We haven't been all year.
That's true. And we're going to be together, most importantly. We will be there.
I went to the Jags game last year. I went to the Jags playoff game. Did we lose a game after that?
No, we did not.
No? We won a Super Bowl?
We did.
Interesting. We did. Interesting. Very interesting.
So, hey, why don't you go to week 1, huh, you prick?
Hold on. I am curious. Hold on. Because last year, I went to the Bills game.
We're looking at post-Truman Gate.
Yes. Have we studied, as the scientific community, have we studied the effect that Truman Steen has on the Chiefs? No, sorry. Chiefs 2022 season. Hold on, sorry. All right. So, the Chiefs, if you'll remember, week 3, they lost to the Colts.
They did.
What? I lost it. Hold on. Sorry. What the fuck? It took me all the way back to 2020. What happened? Okay. All right. So week 3, they lost to the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
Week 6, they
lose to the Bills.
Lose to the Bills.
You were somewhere else.
I was at the Bills game.
That's right. You're there.
After that, Chiefs beat the 49ers, beat the Titans, beat the Jags, beat the Chargers, beat the Rams, lost to the Bengals, beat the Broncos, beat the Texans, beat the Seahawks, beat the Broncos, beat the Raiders, beat the Jags, revenge against the Bengals, beat the Eagles.
I'm not saying that teams go on that we go on at least 3 win streak after you go to games.
I mean, they went, so they lost to the Bills and they won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. Lost to the Bengals, but knowing that they could get the Bengals back in the AFC Championship game.
It's right there. It's right there, right in front of us. How did we not see this before? I mean, the Bengals aren't going to make the playoffs, so clearly the Chiefs know that this is the only time they're going to see him for the rest of the year. So they've got to cook him. It's so obvious, Truman. I mean, how did we not see this before?
What I'm saying is, you're welcome. What can I say, Chiefs Kingdom, except you're welcome?
I'm saying you're welcome. I bought the tickets, so what can I say? But you're welcome.
I paid you for the tickets. eventually. So.
Oh, by the way, I did get a space heater for our tailgate. We need a canopy though.
That's a huge one. I need input on what meat I should smoke for the tailgate. I might put out a little Twitter poll.
Send it.
Or if anybody listens to the podcast, text me, tweet at me, Snapchat me. Tell me what meat you think I should cook for the tailgate. Okay. All right. Chiefs Bengals score prediction. Now that you know that, I'll be there.
Oh, 24-10 Chiefs.
I like that. Actually, I like that score prediction a lot. I think. Give me the full beatdown. Give me 31-13.
Damn!
Something to make you believe again, you know?
Truman's, yeah. I was going to say 24-17, so Vegas wins again, but we're still happy. But, no. I don't know.
No, they're covering.
All right, I like it.
All right. Overreaction time, Owen. You ready?
Let's go. I sent some in there. I thought we're pretty gnarly.
Again, twitter.com at Steam Machine, twitter.com at OwenGoshDominant, x.com also for some of you. Whatever you type in. This first one comes from Allison Renner, who we are going to the game with. Said Owen needs to admit that Nagy's isn't good.
Listen. I'm not going to say isn't good. Chiefs are still top 10 offense, but part of the problem right now, I'll concede. So I don't think that's an overreaction.
Okay. All right. This next one comes from Owen Dahm at Owen Gosh Dammit. The big caps are kind of swaggy.
You know what I'm talking about, by the way, when I say that?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Like the really big caps?
I don't know if people can see it or not, but
yeah. Dude. That's not an overreaction, man. The big hats are kind of swaggy. I haven't seen someone wearing them in the crowd and been like, damn, that dude looks stupid. I've always been like, yeah, that's kind of fun. You know?
It will be a trend that I think for now you're like, okay, that's kind of cool.
Kind of fun.
I think as we look back on it,
dude, big cats,
as a society, we'll see that people ever did that and you're like, this is dumb.
You're just crediting the business of a friend of a guy who's an NFL player that got shot, okay? I need you to know that.
That's fair. Okay. Next one comes from Evan. Wheat sign. I said, Chiefs only bad when talk. What? Chief only bad when talk. When quiet, okay. Mahomes need be better and receiver too.
Why say lot word when few word do trick?
Few word do trick.
Yeah. I mean, Chiefs quiet, focused on this game, not saying any shit. Let's go. Not no reaction.
Next one comes from Owen Dahm. Says neither Chiefs nor Eagles make Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's not overreaction. I think that's not a hot take at this point.
Yeah, I think that's a cold take, unfortunately.
I think they're both.
I think, yeah.
At least the third best team in their conference, and a lot of people would say they're both fourth or fifth in their own conference.
Yeah, I think, with both the Chiefs and the Eagles, the talent is there for both of them to get back. But the execution overall on the season has not been there for either team. And
I'd say for the Eagles, they just looked bad. They look bad. I don't think the Chiefs, they look bad, yes. But at the end, you're like, okay, listen. They turned the ball over twice for two offensive touchdowns allowed, and then they did all it, and you're like, well, that's why they lost. The Eagles, you're like, just not very good, just not running a good offensive scheme,
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely different. I think the Chiefs are like a sleeping giant, but someone hit him with a freaking on a sleep dart from Overwatch. You're going night, brother. The Chiefs' offense is sleepy right now. But if they can find a way to wake up, best player in the league. So,
all right. Next one comes from your boy Adam. I'm gonna butcher these names because I have not heard them said yet. I've only read them. He said, "I want Rome Udunze, which is the Washington wide receiver. Odunze.
Yeah, let me just pull up. I'm just gonna pull up your tweet. It's probably a Dunze. I think you did a pretty good job.
Or Malik Neighbors, Nabers, Neighbors, and I don't care if we sell the farm to draft them.
Okay,
I think I'm fine with people wanting to sell the farm to draft wide receivers, but I think at the end of the day, it's going to be draft an early receiver, sign a veteran receiver, and you still have a lot of offseason signings that you have to do. It's a busy offseason for Veach. He has to sign guys on the defense. He has to sign guys on the offense. I don't think you can sell the farm for anybody right now, and I think that's hard to admit because there's a glaring problem that is frustrating us all right now. But if you sell the farm to fix that problem, the solid team that has been keeping you afloat despite the wide receiver room will start to spring leaks and no longer be a solid foundation that you're building this team on.
Yeah, obviously, I think the Chiefs get a wide receiver in rounds 1 or 2.
Yeah, I think they draft a wide receiver in round 1, a guard in round 2.
They definitely just don't double up on wide receiver. They definitely buy one somewhere.
Yeah, I think you have to get a veteran too.
Yeah,
I think you're going to see very similar to how they did with the offensive line. Signed Orlando Brown Jr. and Joe Thuney. Then they drafted Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith, and they kept Mitchell Schwartz. Or I guess they didn't have Mitchell Schwartz. They had Nick Allegretti, I think, and Mitchell Schwartz for 1 year.
Remmers at the time, right? They kept Remmers for another year.
I don't think it was ever Remmers, but I know that you
Wiley.
I know that you're big on Remmers. I know that you want to talk about Remmers all the time. But
my guy.
So I think you see something similar with the wide receiver room. I think you see them draft 1 in the first round, and then I think you see them draft 1 in the 4th round and probably the 5th round, and then bring in a veteran wide receiver who's going to be very solid, not like the belle of the ball. They're probably not bringing in Mike Evans. But like DJ Chark, somebody said today.
Well, Baker Mayfield's been playing well, so I don't think Tampa Bay is going to want to let Mike Evans go.
Mike Evans is free agent. Man, they didn't work out a deal with Mike Evans, and that pissed off Mike Evans. I think Mike Evans is not a Tampa Bay Buck next year.
I would love him, but yeah, I think you're right about your evaluation. But the good thing about the Chiefs right now is that the whole defense is young, except for like a couple players, because of how good Brett Veach is at drafting defensive players.
You're gonna have to pay L'Jarius Sneed.
That's fine.
You're gonna have to pay Nick Bolton or let him walk.
Yeah, I think they probably paid Nick Bolton. I really don't see them letting Nick Bolton walk.
I think you got to pay Willie Gay Jr. also this year.
Listen, I think they let Brett Veach cook. He's been in this situation before.
I'm willing to let him cook.
We can let him cook. Listen, that's a 2-time Super Bowl winner. We'll let him cook here. But yeah, not an overreaction. Also, you nailed it. Roma Dunze. I'm willing to bet where he's from.
Interesting. Where the name is originated from.
Yes, his family.
Your boy Animal said Mahomes is settling back into old habits. I don't think that's an overreaction. I think that's hard to deny. That's almost an underreaction. He's not trusting guys. He's holding the ball for way too long, which is then causing the offensive line, I think, has looked worse because of Mahomes holding the ball for too long and scrambling into pressure. And we saw that in 2021, and people were like, somebody had to say, listen, that is not Mahomes' O-line fault. Mahomes is dropping 10 yards deep because he's trying to buy time, and they're getting around him. And I think that's part of it. Boy, I also Kelsey might retire after this year, taking a lot of punishment for these L's.
Nope.
No. I don't think
overreaction.
He also said Ravens are the best team in the league. I don't think you can debate whether the Ravens are the best.
Once again, I think you just have to say it. It's kind of like, earlier spots where we were saying, the Chiefs after they beat Miami. Okay, they're the best team in the league. The Niners after they beat the crap out of the Cowboys. Okay, they're the best team in the league. The Eagles after a couple convincing wins earlier in the season. Yeah, they're the best team in the league. But yeah, right now, the Ravens after beating the crap out of the Niners when it wasn't close, you have to say the Ravens. They're looking good. Their defense is scary.
If the Dolphins beat the Ravens this week,
I would laugh my balls off.
It's chaos. It's chaos at that point. You're like, I have no idea who the best team in the league is anymore.
I think our assessment of everyone in the league is bad comes to real fruition if the Dolphins win.
This is a true year of parity. Anything could happen, man. Anything.
If the Dolphins beat the Ravens without Waddle, that'd be crazy.
Adam also said Lamar MVP.
Yeah,
Lamar
right now
MVP,
you have to.
If they slam dunk this weekend, if they boat race the Dolphins this weekend, absolutely. If Lamar loses to the Dolphins this weekend,
running back. There
is no way you don't give it to CMC. You have to give it to CMC at that point.
I'm just so glad the Brock Purdy shit is dead. Everyone knew this guy was a fucking janitor on that team the whole year. And then he finally showed it against a team that's worth its medal. I'm so glad, man. Like, I think we can finally see a non-quarterback win it just because of how bad that one game was. He's dropped out of the top 5, by the way. Brock Purdy has for MVP voting.
Yeah,
I don't think
he was like minus 200 at the start of that game. By the end of that game, he was plus 1,300. That just shows how insane everything is week to week right now because we don't know who the best team or the best player is in the league. Right now, It's the Ravens and Lamar. If they lose this week, I don't think Tua wins MVP. I think CMC does.
I hope CMC does. He deserves it. He's the best player in the league right now.
Yeah. All right. Evan says Pacheco needs to tighten the strap on his helmet better.
Not an overreaction. My goodness.
Emaw Caleb says Jordan Love, top 3 QB in the NFC. I still think Jalen Hurts is better and Dak Prescott is better. I think Brock Purdy had one bad game, and I know we all want to hop on Brock Purdy right now.
He's still a janitor, man.
I don't think Jordan Love is a top 3 QB in the NFC right now. I think that's insane to say. He's got a case for top 5.
Yeah, I guess a little bit of an overreaction, but Brock Purdy would not succeed in Green Bay, but Jordan Love would succeed in San Francisco.
Probably.
I don't think Brock Purdy succeeds anywhere else other than the Niners.
I don't think that's true. I think Brock Purdy could, but I think he's better than. I think he's a replacement level quarterback, if not better than that. Because we said the same thing about Jimmy Garoppolo, and Jimmy Garoppolo looks like trash. But he looked like trash that last year in San Francisco also.
I'm telling you, man, I just this Niners team will not win the Super Bowl because of quarterback play. We saw it last night.
Allison Renner says underrated Christmas tradition, pickle in the tree.
No idea what that is.
It's like I think that's like a Norway. I think that's like a Norway thing. It's a different country's like tradition.
Pickle in the Christmas tree.
Germany.
It's an American tradition. A decoration in the shape of a pickle is hidden on a Christmas tree, with the finder receiving either a reward or good fortune. There are a number of different origin stories, including one
German-American tradition. So, of course, it's big in Kansas.
Kansas, that is our second language, by the way, Truman, if you didn't know.
German?
Yep.
It's not sorry.
Mexican? Oh my gosh, get him!
Spanish.
Get his ass, internet! My goodness!
All right.
No, but that's the largest immigrant group to Kansas. I think outside of Latinos, obviously. But once again, Latinos is, Mexico, Guatemala, Venezuela, Colombia, all of Latin America. So I think that the biggest overall immigrant group to Kansas, especially in the the immigration age of the 1800s to 1940s, is Germans.
Fair enough. All right. Okay. Now we get into the home run chase section of the evening. All right. Puka Nacua isn't actually a stud. Stafford is just that good and is causing him to look better than he is.
I don't think that's ridiculous. I don't think that's an overreaction. Stafford is really good, but But, Mr. Chase, Jared Goff is outperforming Matthew Stafford statistically this year. So, I think it's a bit of an overreaction. I think two things can coexist. And I think we see this with Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is really good, and Patrick Mahomes is also really good. They can both be really good independently of each other. I don't think there's ever been a player that's absolutely been carried by another player on any offensive team. I mean, look at Justin Jefferson, still producing with no matter what backup is out there for the Vikings.
Would Puka Nacua go for 1,500 yards? Probably. I mean, he's at 1,327. Would he go for 1,500 yards on any offense in the NFL? No. Do I think he'd go for over 1,000 on a lot of them?
Yeah.
I think he could. Yeah.
He can't have a janitor throwing to him. No wide receiver is going to be good on a terrible team. Like DJ Moore, right?
Right.
Good player. Not performing well this year because the Bears quarterbacks fucking suck. So, everything has to be taken within context. I think Puka Nacua is good. I don't think it's only Matthew Stafford. I think that's an overreaction.
Right. I think he was a good draft pick. I think he's a great pickup, but I think that's an overreaction. Tomlin's rebound game against the Bengals guarantees him to be coach of the Steelers next year. Absolutely.
It's Mike Tomlin. He's going to have an infinite leash with the Steelers until he retires.
Mike Tomlin is going to be this coach of the Steelers until he's under 500, which means he'll always be the coach of the Steelers. But somebody did have a good take about this where they're like, just being one game over 500 is the worst place for an NFL team to be. It is just good enough to not make the playoffs or get dick slapped in the playoffs and not draft high enough to ever get anybody that can actually help your franchise.
Yeah, but the Steelers don't have a head coach problem. They have a fucking GM problem.
It's true, too.
Mike Tomlin isn't hiring and firing these OCs. They've had back-to-back worst OCs. That's not a Mike Tomlin problem. Mike Tomlin is winning despite...
The head coaches definitely hire the OCs.
I mean, they have a say, but it's the GM at the end.
It's like 80 to 90% head coach.
Still, Mike Tomlin is winning despite these terrible draft picks. They have had a couple good ones with George Pickens, but
his barely winning is also meaning that they don't get good draft picks because they don't draft high. That's the flip side of that.
I'm still not blaming Mike Tomlin. I think Mike Tomlin is still exceeding expectations. The Steelers draft
I think
one
he
good
exceeds
player
expectations every year and gets them the 20th pick in the draft so that they also still cannot rebuild very heavily and still have low expectations again next year, to which he exceeds and gets over 500 again.
I don't know. I think that's silly. I think the Chiefs built a super team drafting in bottom 10 picks. So
I'm just saying.
No, I understand what you're saying, but Mike Tomlin's a legend of the game. He's just gonna have an infinite leash.
Fair enough. Josh Allen will never get out of the funk where he is on a roller coaster in his play quality. I think that is just who Josh Allen is at his heart.
Did you see the way he played in Wyoming? That is absolutely who Josh Allen is. Josh Allen is always going to have a bit of a loose cannon, but the thing about Josh is that I think that's something that's well known, is that he has the ability to go out and win big games. Absolutely he does. But he doesn't have a full season consistency, and I think the Bills are willing to live with that. So he's got absolute star power, but also he is also just seemingly one of the most unlucky athletes on the planet. So
he said Sam Howell is going to be a journeyman QB after he's released by the Commanders, whenever that is.
Seems like a Fitzmagic type.
Yeah, probably. He'll be a solid backup for a while, and then he'll fade into obscurity, probably. You probably won't think about Sam Howell after this year, but especially after next year.
I think he's going to be a Nick Mullins angle. Like Nick Mullins, after that one game in San Francisco a couple of years ago where he won in the game, essentially guaranteed himself as a backup for as long as he wants to be a backup.
Right. He said, unfortunately, the Lions are going to lose to Matt Stafford in round 1 of the playoffs. That is unfortunately going to be true.
Yeah. The Lions have sneakily played nobody good all year.
And the Rams have looked good against good teams. They took Lamar and the Ravens to overtime and should have.
One thing that I think is going to happen, I think the Lions lose quick, and I think the Ravens lose quick.
Interesting. Very interesting.
I think the Ravens get a Titans angle where everyone knows that the Titans are good, but we don't think they have the ability to do it when it matters.
Oh, and if the Ravens lose quick, the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. I just want you to know that.
Oh, I'm aware.
I just want you to know. All right.
It's right there. It's right there, dude. Dude, can you imagine how tasty this is, Truman? The Chiefs. Everyone's like, oh, the Chiefs are finally bad. And then they do the Tom Brady shit where all the teams above them just crumble.
It is the funniest outcome that the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl. I hope you guys all understand.
Gosh, that would be so funny.
It's the funniest outcome that the Chiefs win the Super Bowl this year.
God, that would be hilarious.
Especially since nobody in the NFC is good. Again, we've convinced ourselves again that nobody in the NFC is good.
Dude, no one in the whole league is good.
Cowboys look like trash the last 2 weeks. 49ers look like trash against the Ravens. Eagles have looked like trash against the Niners and the Cowboys. The Ravens could always fall apart. The Dolphins lost to the Chiefs already. Anybody can lose to anybody. This Bills team lost to the fucking Patriots. The Chiefs have lost to the Raiders and the Broncos. Anybody can lose to anybody. Anything can happen. It is absolutely the funniest outcome that the Chiefs win the Super Bowl.
That would be hilarious. What's the next take?
Bryce Young will win another game before the season ends.
Overreaction. That team's terrible. They're not winning shit. Maybe if they... Who's their last game of the season?
I say that is going to be the question. They play the Jaguars this week. That is a no.
Bucks. So no. They play a divisional game with the Bucks sitting at 8-7. Nope. They do not win a game for the rest of the year. It's a must-win game for the Bucks.
Yeah. If the Bucks win this week against the Saints, and I think if the Falcons lose, the Bucks are in the playoffs. They're for sure in the playoffs if that happens. They might be in the playoffs even if they...
But who are the Falcons playing this week?
Even if the Falcons win this week, I think they're in the playoffs.
Falcons play the Bears, so the Falcons are going to win. The Panthers are... No, he's not winning any more games. The Bucks are going to have to play their starters.
Yep. The Bears are still alive in the playoff hunt. That blows my mind. But
there's a lot of teams that are mathematically still alive.
Yes. We will get clarity this week. This week is like this week of talking is the last fun week. Next week it's literally like, okay, these three teams can do something. It's like, when is my team fucking playing football? That'll be the discourse over the weekend. All right. Dolphins showed they are no longer frauds.
What?
Because they came back against the Cowboys team that looked bad against that Bills team.
We're talking about the Dolphins team that lost to the Titans.
Did the Dolphins lose to the Titans?
Yes.
Oh, they did lose to the Dolphins. They did lose to the Titans. No, man, I think the Cowboys and the Dolphins are two very similar teams. I think they're both NFL divisional round participants. You are both going to the divisional round. Congratulations, you've done it.
Well, the Dolphins play the Ravens and the Bills.
I will promise you.
The Dolphins play the Ravens and the Bills to end their season. So
the Dolphins could still be in the wild card. The Dolphins could still be coming to Kansas City. Have you thought about that? Have you thought about the possibility that
that would be wild?
Who would you rather see if Chiefs are gonna? Because let's be honest, the 5 seed is going to the Browns. They're 10-5. They have a better record than the Chiefs right now. The 5 seed is going to the Browns. The 4 seed is probably going to the AFC South. Would you rather see the Bills or the Dolphins round 1?
Definitely the Dolphins.
I think so too.
I don't think Josh Allen can get unlucky in the playoffs against the Chiefs.
No.
Permanently.
No.
And Josh Allen is just he hasn't played a bad game against the Chiefs.
Right. Sunday Night Football has to be Bills Dolphins next week, by the way. There's no way it's not.
Yeah, gotta be. They'll flex it if they have to.
Who else is in the hunt right now? They're still goddamn. If the Bills lose this week, they play the Pats. The Pats have the opportunity to do the funniest thing in the world. If they lose this week, dude, I think they would be back out of the playoffs again. There's still 4 teams at 8-7.
Dude, Truman, if your prediction of Bills and Bengals miss the playoffs comes correct, I'm going to lose my mind.
Would you sacrifice the Chiefs losing to the Bengals to keep the Bills out of the playoffs?
No.
You wouldn't?
No, I still think
if the Chiefs are going to make it into the playoffs anyways and still get the 3 seed, you wouldn't sacrifice that?
Well, okay, if we still get the 3 seed, then sure, why not? In a perfect world, why not?
Let's say you lose to the Bengals. The Bills lose to the Pats. The Bills are back out. The Bengals are probably back in. I think so. I think that's how that works. Yeah, because I think the Bengals have the tiebreaker over the Bills. Bills are out. Bengals are in. We still have the tiebreaker over the Jags. We just would have to probably play next week. By the way, also, if the Chiefs win this week, they are not playing their starters next week because they won't affect playoff seeding at all. Also a fun fact. It's all very interesting, anything that can happen.
Oh, pretty interesting.
The Chiefs could still be the 2 seed.
The Chiefs can still rest starters is crazy.
Because of the Chiefs. The Bills, well, no, the Bills, I guess, would be. I don't think the Chiefs can be the 2 seed anymore.
Just win this week and fucking rest everybody next week. Have your bye week then.
Yes, I absolutely agree with it. I think the best thing for the Chiefs is that Miami wins this week because then they lock in the AFC East. Miami wins this week. The Chiefs win this week. And the Bills, obviously the best thing would be for us is the Bills to lose. But I don't think that's going to happen. Nothing after that matters.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think Andy actually rests the starters?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
We're talking about Andy Reid who plays starters in the preseason games.
Yeah, but not like that's different. That's trying to get your guys ready for the preseason. That's not trying to get your guys rested for the postseason. That's different. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Sorry. Let's finish up. From Chase here. Ravens are perfectly setting up the story for them to get bounced first round again in comedic fashion. Absolutely.
Yeah, not an overreaction. Would be funny.
Especially if they lose to Miami this week. Then they're playing in that first round, and then they're getting bounced, and then it's very funny. It's time for Mahomes to embrace the fact that his defense is so good, all he has to do is not be a hero, and they will win. Abso-fucking-lutely, Chase. You absolutely get it. At this point, if the Chiefs wouldn't have turned the ball over one time, they would have won that game on Sunday. If they wouldn't have done one of those defensive touchdowns, they would have won the game on Sunday.
Also, the take the points crowd, take the guaranteed field goal points, was loving last game. Because if the Chiefs could have kicked 2 field goals instead of going for it on 4th down.
I still don't know why they don't trust Butker to kick from in between the 40 and the 50-yarder. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand. It blows my mind. Browning showed he actually was a pumpkin all along. That's his final take. Yes. We like to talk a lot about the Bengals wide receivers being able to carry anybody, but Jake Browning showed that he is not that guy. He is not Joe Burr, as much as we make fun of the Bengals for that. So I will admit that when it's fair to admit that. Okay. All right. Let's finish up here with our NFL segments. Thank you everybody again for submitting overreactions for the Owerreactor. We really appreciate it. Really appreciate you guys checking in on those also. At Steam Machine, at Owen Gosh Dahm. If you need to send it to us however you can send it to us. NFC South Team of the Week. Give it to the Bucks. Bucks look good, man.
Shout out Baker, man. Shout out Baker. Better QB than Jalen Hurts right now. Ayo.
I like Baker.
Baker, man. Yeah. Kind of, in a way. Not really at Oklahoma, but no.
Yeah. I think he's fun. I think he's annoying when he's not. I think his bit gets old when he's not doing well, but I think when he's doing well, the bit is fine.
But it's not like now he's an adult. He's not an idiot college kid anymore. He's not getting in trouble or anything. He's just being a goober.
Right.
But it's for his team. He's like Jameis Winston. He's like still the same goober, but he's just like not doing illegal shit, not doing scummy shit. He's just being a doofus, which is fine.
Yeah. Owen, instead of having us pick the best team in the NFL this week,
yep,
I want to say you can pick 3 teams from each of the conferences for one of them to win the Super Bowl. Which 3 would you pick?
Let me pick.
Start with the NFC. We can both do NFC, and then we'll both do NFC? Yeah.
I just got to go with the safe option here. I don't think anyone's that good in the NFC. Give me Niners. Give me Eagles. 2 safe options. And then I got to go with the wild card option. Let me look at the NFC playoff picture.
All right. Let me give you my 3 NFC while you do that. My 3: Niners, Cowboys. My 3rd team, this is my wild card, the Rams. The Rams are built well right now.
Give me Eagles, Niners, Bucks, bro. Shock the nation. Shock the nation. What if?
That'd be so funny. I would love for Baker to win the Super Bowl.
God, that'd be hilarious. What if it means that Patrick Mahomes isn't going to win?
Yeah. In the AFC, Ravens, Dolphins. I hate to say it. I know people are going to flame me for this. Chiefs. It's still the Chiefs. Listen, I was getting down on it, and then I thought back on it. Legit, MVS should have caught that deep pass against the Eagles. MVS, or Kadarius Toney isn't offsides. They beat the Bills. They beat the Dolphins already.
They don't lose to the Raiders if weird shit doesn't happen. They don't lose to the Broncos if weird shit doesn't happen.
I think if any team can figure it out and go on a run in the playoffs in a year where it's wide open, I think you pick the guy that's been there 2 times and done it already, the coach that's been there 2 times and done it already with that guy, and you pick one of the best defenses. It's the top 5 defense. It's two coaches. It's coaching a quarterback that's been there. Your only other shot is Joe Flacco. Notice the Z in chat saying copium. Absolutely. But I don't think anybody – I think we are all dancing on the grave of the Chiefs because we want to say, woo, we could finally count them out. We could finally not. But I think at the end of the day, I think anybody's scared to count out the Chiefs.
Yeah, give me Ravens, give me Chiefs, and give me the Browns, baby. Give me the Browns. That defense is crazy. Joe Flacco, elite.
I think that's fair. Again, he'll be the only other guy in the AFC playoffs who's won a Super Bowl besides Mahomes.
I mean, I don't think they're actually going to do it. I don't think Joe Flacco's good enough. But what if, baby? I mean, they're already at a 99% chance to win to make the playoffs, even if they lose. So,
can they still get the 1 seed? Yeah, right?
I don't think so. Can they?
I don't know how that works out.
All right, let me see the remaining games. Because if they were going to get the 1 seed, they had to beat the Ravens. Nope, they can't get the 1 seed. Wait.
I don't think they have to beat the Ravens.
They beat the Ravens already. So now
the series, they're even in the conference.
It goes.
The Ravens would have to lose 2 in the conference. I think the Browns would get it. Again, I don't think it matters, but I think it would be very funny.
That would be wild. No way. Ravens' remaining games are Dolphins and Steelers. Oh, they could 2 conference games. Yeah, I guess it's possible. I know it's not going to happen, but it's possible.
I agree. I was going to take a look. Let me see. Browns. I'm on the playoff machine on ESPN.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Literally like my number one. Like I'm on it so much during this time of year. Hold on. One more.
I just hope that one day we get to witness the glory that is the playoffs determined by a coin toss.
Absolutely. Yes, the Browns could absolutely.
As long as it's not my team.
The Browns can still get the 1 seed.
Dude, they have 10 wins. Like, how?
They're good. They're good. It's random. All right. Week 16 picks. That's right, folks. It is back on here because I finally tallied them all up. Hold on, I'm pulling it over. I'm pulling it over so I can read it. It's over on my small screen.
W.
Through 16 weeks. Our guest is 138 and 106.
No, not bad.
Not bad. Owen, you're 142 and 102. And I am 136 and 108.
Come on, baby, close it out.
So you're up 6 games on me. The guest is up 2 games on me.
Man, you must have really gone on a run these last couple of weeks.
Yeah. As a group, we are at 141 and 103, which again, I will say, you know what, pretty good.
Dude, fuck. I mean, let me do some math here.
Oh, yes.
Dude, we're at that 57% win rate. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Picking a random game, 6 out of 10 chance.
Yep. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. But that's how we do it on
really
Dahm That's True.
Craving your attention on Dahm That's True.
Yeah, sorry, this cat is going crazy on my lap right now. I think she might have got a meow into the mic. I don't know if you guys got to hear it or not.
I didn't hear it.
Oh man, no meow into the mic then. Actually, the group still might have, the recording software still might have got it because you might not have got it because of Crisp.
I see. Maybe. We'll see when I listen back to the episode.
All right.
What's next? We're great at picking games. Remember, all preseason, by the way, 60% win rate before knowing anything about any of these season's teams.
Yep. Oh, and your 5-team parlay. We're ready for your 5-team parlay of the week.
Let's cook one up, boys. I know we've been struggling on these parlays recently. So let's see if we can't cook one up that'll actually pass. All right. NCAA. No, not NCAA football.
Yeah, you know what, Owen? Owen, you owe us one. I've been saying it.
I do owe us one. All right. Right off the rip, we're going the Browns.
The Browns.
Then we are going Falcons over Bears.
Hold on. I'm opening up ESPN. Hold on. Trying to just get rid of all my ESPN money. All right. Browns over Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're not going Falcons. Just kidding. That's not a good pick.
No.
We're going Bears. No, we're not betting on that shit game. Who am I thinking? Who am I kidding? We're going Rams.
Rams? Okay.
Yep.
Rams over Giants. I like that.
Yep. We're going Bucks.
Okay. Bucks over Saints. I like that.
Mm-hmm. We're going Texans.
CJ Stroud should be back this week. So it's Texans over who?
Texans over Titans.
Texans over Titans. I like that.
And then we're going Chargers over Broncos. I know that's spicy, but I think the Chargers backup is better than the Broncos.
Fair enough. You're going
and Russ is not starting.
Stick. You're leaving this up to Easton Stick over.
I mean, look at the value on the rest of this. There's just no value. I'm not betting Packers, Vikings. I'm not betting on Steelers, Seahawks. I'm not betting on Dolphins, Ravens. And the value just isn't there on anywhere else.
All right. Browns, Rams, Texans, Bucks, Chargers.
Yep.
That's plus 11 $1,100 for everybody keeping track at home.
Is.
I'm gonna bet 907 on it so I can win $100.
Nice.
There
Congratulations on winning that much money.
That'll be nice. That'll be a nice little boost into the year to add it back into the investment account. All right, Owen, I got an interesting top 5 for you.
Ready.
Top 5 stadium names.
Okay. Interesting. Pull out the old pad. Like NFL stadium names?
Could be college.
Okay.
The inspiration for this was me thinking about Burrowhead this week. So,
are you gonna put that one on there?
No, I'm not gonna put Burrowhead on there. No. Damn, this cat is fucking comfortable as fuck. I will say that. Trying to think of one more. Oh, yes. All right. I've got 5.
Go ahead.
All right. Hold on. Let me make sure. Yes. All right. Number 5. Shout out Albuquerque, New Mexico, for their basketball stadium, The Pit.
That's a good one.
Fun. The Pit. Number 4, Mile High Stadium. No matter what, that shit is kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. It's cool that your stadium's named after being a mile high in elevation. That's cool. Number 3, LSU, Death Valley. That's fun. That's a fun one. Scary to go into Death Valley at night. Number 2, Lambeau. That's classic. That's straight classic stadium name. Lambeau. Named after the old ball coach. Number 1.
Good one.
Arrowhead Stadium. Come on, baby. So, yeah. The Pit, Mile High, Death Valley, Lambeau, Arrowhead Stadium.
All right, I got 2. I got my list.
All right, I'm ready. Burrowhead is.
Unfortunately, I do have 2 SEC schools on here, which is just a crime. But the nicknames are cool. At number 5, I have the Eagles, the Link. I like it. It's short. It's sweet. I believe
it's really Lincoln Financial Field, but
yeah, the Lincoln Financial Field, but everyone calls it the Link. I like that. If we're
counting nicknames, I honorable mention to Wisconsin's Bounce House.
Oh, I kind of did like mostly nicknames. I mean, Death Valley is a nickname. It's not actually called Death Valley.
No, LSU's is actually called Death Valley.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's Tiger Stadium, bro.
All right, whatever. Never mind. Whatever.
Anyway, number 4, Arrowhead. Solid, memorable. Everyone knows what you're talking about when you say Arrowhead.
Number 1, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Fucking douchebag.
Number 3, Death Valley. Solid. Love it. Number 2, the Octagon of Doom. Kind of cringe. You left that one off here. Bramlage Coliseum.
Sorry, that is fun.
I like things being called the Coliseum anyway. And number 1, the Swamp.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think that's just awesome. Just an awesome nickname.
Yep.
So Swamp. I got the Link, Arrowhead, Death Valley, the Octagon of Doom, and the Swamp.
Fair enough.
So SEC schools know what they're doing.
That's true. All right, that'll do it. God, I had a pop culture minute, but I totally forgot.
Yeah, you had one. Pop culture minute. Stand on cardboard if you're going to Arrowhead. Get a box. Break it. Cardboard. Pizza box.
Order pizza this week. Doctor's orders.
Doctor's orders.
About to order some fucking pizza. You know what? If you're coming over for the game tomorrow, I'm ordering pizza.
Oh. I love it.
From the Superior Pizza Place.
Don't you dare.
Pizza Hut.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, Tina, we're getting pizza. It's a safety issue. It's for our feet. Trust me, it's a safety issue. Trust me. It's all about our safety.
Trust me, bro. Trust me. Please, bro. Trust me.
Bro.
Don't worry. I've got the one good thing that Papa John's has. I have their garlic sauce in my fridge.
Oh, you do? W. Fuck yes. That stuff's so damn good.
I got you, big dog. All right.
Thank you.
I think that's it. That's all I got for you.
Nah. Solid
Pop
app.
Culture Minute. Stand on cardboard. Pop Culture Minute. Follow us on Twitter.
Pop Culture Minute. Follow me.
Follow me, hoes. Yes. At Steam Machine. At twitter.com/
Shout out our Patreon subscribers, our patrons. Meltbox, Dylan, Aaron, Joe, and Skylar.
Yes. Mailbox opening soon in the Irish, by the way. Shout out everybody. Shout out Mr. Owen Dahm for doing this virtually.
Shout out Truman for being safe when his girlfriend is sick and he's sick.
Yes. For petting the cat also. So, all right, guys. We appreciate you for hanging out. We appreciate you for being here. We'll see you guys. Oh, my gosh. The music got messed up. No. Oh, no.
Bwomp. Bwomp.
Well, you guys get to restart it then. All right. We'll skip a little ahead. We appreciate you guys for being here. Appreciate you for hanging out. We'll see you next week. We'll have plenty to talk about after going to the Bengals game, Bengals-Chiefs game. Talk about our tailgating foods. Let me know what meat you guys want me to smoke.
Truman, I'm just going to keep it classic with the pork.
With prime rib. Thanks, Owen. See you guys.